Well, fortune everyone on this here Simple Sessions. This is the Simple Times Podcast, and we're doing a Simple Session today of St. Patrick's Day. So, maybe you should stop playing with your shillelagh, grab a pint, sit down, relax, and let's get to Simple Times, Simple Sessions, St. Patrick's Day! So, Andrew.
Here I am.
Here we are, St. Patrick's Day, Simple Sessions. Our first Simple Session since, was it Thanksgiving, huh?
I think so.
Thanksgiving, or was it Halloween?
Must have been Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was just thinking we've been lagging it on the Simple Sessions. So.
Yeah, we have. But not much has really gone on. I mean, we could have probably done one for Valentine's Day, but I think we kind of ended up doing a full episode anyways.
Which is nothing wrong with that. I really liked that episode. It was good. A little long, but
I haven't listened to that one yet. Like I said, I'm 2 behind, so I'm 2 episodes behind. So.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it this way, it's like, why listen to it? I was there.
Exactly.
Kind of like how Johnny Depp is with movies. He's like, he doesn't watch his films because, like, well, I did my job. Why do I have to watch the final product?
Exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, I like listening to our stuff. But I'm excited for tonight. Here we are at Beach House Studios, and you are full of surprises, Marcelo.
I am. Tis the truth. Tis the truth. Yes. So since Andrew doesn't really, like he was telling me, all he really knows about St. Patrick's Day is you wear green and 4-leaf clovers.
Yeah, and you know the adults drink beer and
right.
St. Patrick, I assume, is a saint. But yeah, other than that...
Well, then I guess you were going to find out today.
Well, I'm excited.
So this comes from leprechaunsf.com.
Wow.
This is the St. Patrick's Day history.
I'm excited. Let's do this.
St. Patrick's Day, the holiday where everyone is Irish for a day. But where did this tradition start? Well, let me tell you a tale as old as time, or at least as old as the 5th century. St. Patrick's Day is one of the most celebrated holidays in the world. The holiday, which originated in Ireland, is now celebrated worldwide with parades, feasts, and lots of green attire. But how did St. Patrick's Day begin, and why do we celebrate it? Well, St. Patrick's Day was originally a religious holiday, celebrating the patron saint of Ireland, St. Patrick. St. Patrick was born in Britain, but when he was 16 years old, he was captured by Irish raiders and taken to Ireland as a slave. He escaped after 6 years, but returned to Ireland as a missionary, working to convert the Irish to Christianity. He became known for his use of the shamrock, a 3-leaf clover, to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity to the Irish. St. Patrick died on March 17th, which is why that date is now celebrated as St. Patrick's Day. The first St. Patrick's Day parade was not actually held in Ireland, but in the United States. The parade was held in New York City in 1762, when Irish soldiers marched through the city to celebrate their heritage. The tradition continued, and today New York City hosts one of the largest St. Patrick's Day parades in the world. Over time, St. Patrick's Day became less of a religious holiday and more of a celebration of Irish culture. The holiday was officially made a public holiday in Ireland in 1903, and since then has become a day of celebration around the world. In Ireland, the day is celebrated with parades, music, dance, and lots of green. While the holiday has its roots in Ireland, people of all backgrounds and nationalities now celebrate St. Patrick's Day. It is celebrated in many countries around the world, including the United States, Canada, Australia, and Japan. The day is a celebration of Irish heritage and is often marked by parades, festivals, parties, pub crawls, and feasts. Many people wear green clothing or accessories to show their support for Ireland and enjoy traditional Irish food and drinks. While St. Patrick's Day has changed over the centuries, it is still a day to celebrate the life and legacy of St. Patrick and to recognize the important role that Irish have played in the history of the world. Whether you are Irish or not, St. Patrick's Day is a day to come together with friends and family and to celebrate the rich culture and heritage of Ireland. But now you might be wondering, well, who was St. Patrick himself? I know they dabbled on it a little bit by saying that, he was the one that tried to convert people to Christianity, but let's get a little more into it. St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, is a figure who has been celebrated for centuries. Born in Britain in the 4th century, St. Patrick was kidnapped by the Irish raiders when he was just 16, like we said before, taken to Ireland as a slave. During his captivity, he found solace in religion and eventually escaped to Britain. After studying to become a priest, St. Patrick returned to Ireland with the goal of converting the pagan Irish to Christianity. He traveled the country preaching and baptizing and is said to have used the 3-leaf shamrock to explain the Holy Trinity to the Irish. St. Patrick is also known for driving the snakes out of Ireland, a feat that some believe to be a metaphor for his efforts to eliminate paganism in the country. While there is no evidence to suggest that there ever even were snakes in Ireland, the legend of St. Patrick ridding the country of these slithering creatures lives on. Despite facing many challenges during his time in Ireland, St. Patrick is credited with spreading Christianity throughout the country and helping to establish it as a dominant religion. He died on March 17th, which is now celebrated as St. Patrick's Day in his honor. Today, people all over the world celebrate St. Patrick's Day with parades, parties, and of course, lots of green clothing and decorations. The holiday has become a symbol of Irish culture and heritage, and is a time for people to come together and celebrate their love of all things Irish. So next time you raise a pint of Guinness in honor of St. Patrick, remember the man behind the holiday and the lasting legacy.
Wow. That was impressive. And I learned so much.
I know, right?
No, for real though. Like I was wondering like, why the green? Why the green? And I'm like, oh, the shamrock.
The shamrock, yeah.
And
Ireland is very, very green.
And you said that this St. Patrick's Day was first celebrated in the United States.
Yep.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I always thought it like originated in Ireland, but that's just where, St. Patrick was.
That's where he came, yeah.
That's where that originated.
But you also got to remember, there was a lot of Irish immigrants that came over to the world.
That's right.
So I'm sure they probably carried over a lot of the traditions that, and then also, and I think it's might still be ongoing. Ireland doesn't really like Great Britain, so at the time, I believe Great Britain may have dominated Ireland, so they probably weren't allowed to celebrate, stuff to encourage them to be, who they are and all that stuff. So,
right, yeah.
That's my opinion.
I need to brush up on my history, but yeah, isn't there like a Protestant versus Catholic thing in that region?
That too, yeah. And I mean, you also got the potato famine. What was there was a war. There's been a couple wars between Ireland and Great Britain, but I know the who was it, the IRA, not the financial term, but it was a domestic terrorist group over in Ireland that were going all around because they just to show we want our independence, we want to be separated from the UK. The UK does not own us. So
wow, interesting, fascinating. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know that the holiday blew up here in the United States.
A lot of holidays seem to blow up here in the U.S. first before anywhere else in the world.
But that was very educational.
So Andrew, I know you're thinking, okay, well, the green and all that stuff, but what other traditions could there be for St. Patrick's Day? Well, of course, wearing of the green is the big one that everybody knows.
Well, I mean, we went to elementary school and everyone was like, well, if you don't wear green, we're going to pinch you.
Exactly.
And they did.
The tradition of wearing shamrock to celebrate St. Patrick seems to date from the 17th or 18th century. This was a very turbulent time in Irish history. The suppression of the Gaelic way of life by the ruling British invaders resulted in many aspects of the Catholic religion in Ireland being forced underground. Strict laws were enforced to prevent the Catholic population from attending schools, so hedge schools, quote-unquote, were operated in secret. These schools were run outdoors in secluded places, sometimes literally under a hedge. The teaching of the religion was so forbidden, it is only to be expected that teachers would use naturally available resources to inform their pupils. Thus, the shamrock plant was used to illustrate the message of the Christian Holy Trinity. So, based off of that, that's why we wear green, to signify the shamrock, like you had said.
Interesting, yeah.
Wearing a clump of shamrock is now a firmly established tradition throughout the world to celebrate not just St. Patrick, but Ireland itself. The shamrock symbol is widely used by businesses seeking to associate with Ireland, and along the harp is perhaps the single most recognizable symbol of Ireland. It's a shame, though, that the shamrock is not a blue plant, as the color originally associated with St. Patrick was blue. But the harp, as in the harp that's on a Guinness bottle or in the Guinness logo. The St. Patrick's Day Parade, which of course any kind of parade, any kind of celebration is going to be big. St. Patrick's Day is unique in that it is celebrated worldwide. It is most unusual that a country has such an international celebration, and is really evidence of the generational effects of immigration that has affected Ireland for centuries. After the 1845 to 1849 Irish famine, immigration soared, with as many as 1 million native Irish leaving their homes in the decades after the famine to settle in places like Boston, New York, Newfoundland, Perth, Sydney, and beyond. The U.S. Census Bureau now reports that 34 million U.S. citizens claim Irish descent. I am actually one of them.
What?
Most Emirates like to commemorate their heritage, and thus the St. Patrick's Day Parade came into being. The earliest record of St. Patrick's Day Parade was in the year 1762, when Irish soldiers serving in the British Army held a parade in New York City. Earlier records suggest that the day was celebrated by the Irish in Ireland as early as the 9th and 10th centuries. Again, this was a very difficult time in Irish history, with Viking raiders terrorizing the native Gaelic population. It is thus no surprise that then, in times of strife, the local population would turn to religion and to a commemoration of their own heritage and individuality, a practice that has been repeated by populations of troubled places since the dawn of time. The New York Parade is now the longest-running civilian parade in the world, with as many as 3 million spectators watching the parade of over 150,000 participants. The first official parade in Ireland was in 1931. The 1901 law that copper fastened March 17th as an Irish national holiday was later amended to insist that public houses close down on the day. This restriction was later lifted in the 1970s. In the mid-1990s, the Irish government really started to promote the event when it changed from a single day's parade into a 5-day festival, attracting as many as 1 million visitors into the country. Parades are now held in just about every major city in the world, with the biggest in several U.S. cities reaching epic proportions. Also, another tradition that I've only seen in pictures, and I think it's actually pretty cool. Greening of buildings and rivers.
Oh, I've heard of the greening of rivers.
Like the one in Chicago.
Yeah.
The use of the color green reached new heights or plunged new depths when in 1962 the city of Chicago decided to dye the Chicago River green. Since the campaign to have just about every possible landmark turned green for the day has taken off in earnest, and in recent years has included the Irish Parliament Building, the Sydney Opera House, the Empire State Building, Niagara Falls, and even the pyramids in Giza. And it's funny because at first when they were dyeing the waters green, they were just literally throwing in I think someone said that they were throwing in actual paint or clothing dye. And
Wow.
it was affecting the ecosystem because
Right.
that's chemicals.
The fish and whatever.
Right, yeah. And so finally, I don't know what year, but somebody finally thought hey, wait a minute, why don't we do something that's not going to kill the life in there and do some? So now it's like a they say it's not an algae, it's still a dye, but it's like food coloring. It's nothing really. It's going to dissolve in however many.
It'll just wash away.
Exactly.
Normally.
Yeah. It'll just dissolve itself, go back to the original color. But I mean, there's a picture here of it. It almost looks like a big old pool of lime jello.
Whoa, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look like Jello.
Yeah. So they make it really really green.
Wow.
A pint of plain.
A pint of plain.
The Irish association with drinking is well known and not always positive. Fortunately, there are plenty of examples of the appropriate use of alcohol, and St. Patrick's Day is one of them. It is a widely held tradition in Ireland that beer or whiskey can be taken on St. Patrick's Day, although native Irish It is a widely held tradition in Ireland that beer or whiskey can be taken on St. Patrick's Day, although native Irish pubgoers can only look on aghast as visitors top the heads of their creamy pint of Guinness with a green shamrock. Sacrilege! It is estimated that as many as 13 million pints of Guinness are consumed on St. Patrick's Day, up from the usual 5.5 million per day.
Whoa.
So, they also dress up. The tradition of dressing up as an Irish outfits is not just confined to participants of parades. Jovial creatures in Irish origin and the world over use the opportunity of St. Patrick's Day to dress up as a leprechaun or even as St. Patrick himself. Kids love to wear the big green, white, and orange hats and receive sweets thrown by them by similarly clad operators of the various parade floats. And then, of course, there's probably one of my favorites, the St. Patrick's Day dinner.
Oh, I do not know about this.
At all?
No.
So, corned beef and cabbage is a traditional and Irish meal as you will ever find. It is often hauled out for St. Patrick's Day. Traditional Irish music in the background and a family gathering are other Irish St. Patrick's Day traditions that have been going on for centuries. Every year, my mom would make corned beef cabbage. Just corned beef. She wouldn't do the cabbage. Sometimes she would do the cabbage, but most of the time it was corned beef. Throw it in the crock pot. You can buy a slab of it at the market. Throw it in the crock pot. Add the seasoning. You don't like. To me, corned beef is one of those meats where you don't even have to really add too many seasonings to it. The way it's prepared is just, and if you cook it right, it's like fall off the bone. It is a little stringy, so people don't really like this, like the stringy texture. But just talking right now and thinking about it make my mouth water because I haven't had it in so long. But I love corned beef.
So you're gonna have to educate me on this.
All right.
When you say corned beef, the only two meats that I can think of is like corned beef hash. It's the kind that comes in a can you throw on a skillet.
I think that might be.
And I'm thinking meatloaf. But
no, not quite meatloaf.
Because I'm not exactly sure what this corned beef?
Yes,
what
corned
this
beef
looks like. I don't even know what this looks like.
So, according to the Food Network, corned beef is meat that has been cured in salt solution. Before refrigeration, meat was salted and cured to be preserved. Historically, any type of meat could be put through the curing process that makes what we know as corned beef today. In the U.S., corned beef is made from beef brisket. You might have seen it at Jewish delis, and that's because the brisket is a traditionally kosher cut of meat that is cured to tenderize. So,
got a picture over here.
I mean, it just looks like a light. So most briskets are usually smoked and a darker color.
Oh.
This one is a little more. I don't want to say rare, but it's just not as caramelized. Only because there's really not that many like sauces and rubs and stuff like that you put on it. I mean,
so it's like a soft meat.
Very soft. Yes, it is.
Oh, sounds good.
Oh, it is. And I mean, if you go to a pretty legit deli, they should have some kind of corned beef there. But like I said,
so you're saying your mom used to make this all the time?
She used to make it every year always on St. Patrick's Day. She'd make it throughout the year, but always on St. Patrick's Day. And she liked making it because it was a crock pot thing. And if you buy a slab of it, like I know Smart and Final did sell some, but like all the stores sell them. It's essentially pre-made. There's like a little packet in it that, because I know it's you can put like some peppercorns. It's like a bag of peppercorns and you sprinkle a couple of things on it. You can put it in the crock pot, leave it in there for 4 or 5 hours, whatever's letting it simmer, and add some water, maybe even if you want some beef broth, And it's
after listening to you explain all that, I feel like I'm missing out.
You are.
Wow.
You are. You're missing out on corned beef as much as I'm missing out on like the Salvadorian tamales.
You're not missing out on the Salvadorian tamales.
Or the pupusas.
The pupusas, yeah, you gotta try those at least once. I'll take you to a pupuseria one of these days.
One of the things other than the foods and the meats that Irish known for is drinking.
That's right.
And as much as I'm not really much of like a hard liquor drinker, I love, or I should say I love, but I drink beer.
Something that I just learned from our Boozy Buddies episode.
Exactly. And so in the Irish tradition of drinking beer, I have here 15 Irish beers from around the world.
Ooh.
This is brought to us by The Irish Road Trip. All the websites that I got for today's lists and articles and all that stuff, I tried to find with some type of Irish name in them, because I feel like that might be a little more, part of the course.
More genuine.
So some of these actually I've never even heard of. I'll be honest, other than Guinness, I've never really heard most of them. But some have some pretty funny names. Like this first one is Scraggy Bay.
Scraggy Bay.
Scraggy Bay. It's got a yellow wrap. It said it isn't one of the most popular beers in Ireland. It's hands down one of the favorites of the person that wrote this article. Let's see if I can see. It's got a good kick to it. They say it's fairly strong at just a little above 5%. But they say that it's if you're looking for something a little different, this one to go to. Number 2, of course, Guinness. It's a staple. I mean,
everyone knows Guinness.
If I ever go to Ireland, I want to go to the Guinness brewery. They say you can do tours, and you actually drink Guinness like the entire time you're there.
Well, what else would you drink?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, arguably the most famous of the many Irish drinks, Guinness. Always regarded Guinness as a stout, but they call it a beer these days. By all accounts, it has been brewed at St. James Gate in Dublin since way back in 1759.
Wow.
It says, if you're reading this from outside of Ireland, the chances are you'll be able to find Guinness on sale near where you live, as it is sold in 100+ countries across the world. It is the most famous of the many Irish beer brands. However, keep in mind that not all pints of Guinness are equal. You often need to do some digging to find a good one. This is the most popular beer in Ireland for good reason. So what they mean by that is there is actually a program a bartender can go to where they will be taught how to properly store, serve, and pour a Guinness. Because it's a stout, because it's a little thicker, and because it is the biggest beer. The Irish really take pride, especially the breweries really take pride in their product in Guinness. So,
if someone wanted to open up like a Guinness brewery, they have to go through the program.
I believe so. Yeah, I think it's the actual in order for you to sell the beer, especially if it's on tap. If it's by the bottle or by the can, it's a different thing. But if it's on tap, you have to learn how to pour it.
Wow.
There is a certain pour, because the Guinness can get such a thick head on it that if you just pour it straight without any, like a regular beer, you're going to get more head than your beer. Like you're going to get a very, very, maybe about an inch or two of beer, and the rest will be head. And then once all that settles down, you've got maybe a half a glass of beer, if that.
Right. It reminds me, there was some video that was floating around. Some lady was served some beers, and I guess the head was really big, and she was complaining.
Yeah.
And I think she won her case or something with the bartender. But
maybe, yeah.
I was like, oh, I guess this lady really knows her stuff.
But now, before we go any further, Andrew.
Yes?
I have a 6-pack of Guinness here for you.
No way. I saw you.
You've never had Guinness. You've told me many times.
Never had Guinness.
And I figured, on St. Patrick's Day, why not try one?
I'm thrilled.
So go ahead and pop one open.
Let's do this. What am I waiting for?
I don't know.
I've kind of been waiting for this for the longest time. So,
all right.
So let me see what Marcelo brought into Beach House Studios tonight is Guinness Draught.
It's draft. Draft.
That's how you spell draft?
That's how you spell draft. Another form of draft, yes.
Oh, I thought there was supposed to be an F in there.
No. The GH is I mean, think of like trough.
Yeah.
It's the England, the European spelling.
The spelling. All right, let me start over then. Guinness St. James Gate, Dublin, Ireland.
That's where it's
draft stout.
Yep. So this is going to be a thicker beer than you're used to.
This is so cool looking.
So I'll hold on to the bottle. And we'll get a. Oh, you don't even know how to open. Is that really how you open it up? Oh.
Well, that's how I do it.
Oh, okay.
You got to remember, I don't do this often. I'm not a big drinker like you.
I figured you at least know how to open up a bottle.
Man, stop judging me. Smells good.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. My first Guinness.
You're going to get a creamy kind of flavor to it.
That's really good.
But it's a different taste than a regular beer, right?
Yeah. That tastes really good. I'm used to Corona, Modelo.
Right. A lighter, right? A lighter, more like I don't know if you want to call it amber, but a little like a golden kind of beer.
The goldeny colors. Well, what is this?
This
Darker?
one is it's a brown. It's a brown one.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I normally don't go for the brown ones.
Yeah,
but this one is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying this. Not bad.
Yeah, it's good. It really is.
Well, I don't want to drink alone. Are you going to pop one?
No, I'm driving. I'm not going to.
All right.
But whatever you don't finish, I'll be happy to take home and finish myself.
Well, I'm just proud of you that you're being responsible on
yeah.
the podcast, being a good example to all our listeners.
And actually, there was so one of the radio stations I listened, or one of the radio programs I listened to in the mornings, Mark and Brian radio program, which I know I've talked about I think a few times on this podcast. Every St. Patrick's Day, they would do a drunk show. And they would, in tradition of the Irish drinking. And the cool thing about that is that they would taxi in, they would, be driven in. They would have a driver take them to the studio, and they'd get drunk. But every hour, I think it was, or every half hour, they would have a CHP officer there in the studio that would be doing a breathalyzer test on them. Periodically, just to,
this is too funny.
Because they would also, not only were they just having fun getting drunk, but also they were promoting, no DUIs and all that stuff, just to kind of show, how quickly it can, get out of control.
Yeah.
So they were doing like, but I think they also did it on Cinco de Mayo. So really, any of the major drinking holidays, they would have a drunk show. So, but on like St. Patrick's Day, they would have one where it would be like Guinness.
So it's kind of like raising awareness.
Exactly. While they're able to have fun and
Gotcha.
make it a whole festival thing out of it. So getting on with the list, they also have Rosie's Pale Ale. It says if you're looking for the best Irish craft beers, give Rosie's Pale Ale from Rye Rive Brewing Company a bash. Taste-wise, this boasts a lovely balance of bitter citrus notes with a smooth caramelized palate. Strength-wise, it's 4.5% and is one of several Irish beers from the lads at Rye Riv well worth sampling. This may be a little trickier to those of you across the pond source, but it's worth keeping an eye out for it. The next one up is one called Five Lamps. The Five Lamps is an iconic lamppost with surprisingly 5 lanterns, which stands at the junction of 5 streets: Portland Row, North Strand Road, Seville Place, Amiens Street, and Killarney Street in Dublin. The Five Lamps is also one of the newer Irish beer brands that opened up a shop back in 2012. There's a nice strong twang to the Five Lamps beer, but it's only 4.2% volume. This is ideal for drinkers like me who want something with a bit of flavor but don't fancy the hangover that drinking some mental 8.9% crafty Irish lager brings. Next one is Smithwick's Blonde. Let's see, it was trying to think, or trying to find out where it is. If you're not familiar with Smithwick's brand, it's founded in Kilkenny in 1710 by John Smithwick and ran until 1965 when it was bought by Guinness. Often overlooked beers in Ireland is Mescan Brewery beer. See, Mescan Brewery can be found on the slopes of Croft Patrick and Mayo. It is owned and run by 2 Westport vets. Interestingly enough, almost sounds like I might have had a few, but I didn't. I promise I didn't.
Oh, whatever you say.
Number 2 is Boyne Brewhouse beer. Let's see, it's Irish lager from the folks at Boyne in Drogheda in County Louth over in Ireland. 4.8% on their Irish lager, 4.8% on their amber ale as well, so both. Number 3 is a Franciscan Wells Friar Wise. Number 4 is Wicklow Wolf Elevation Pale Ale. And then they go on the popular Irish brands, which it's the O'Hara's Irish Wheat, Kilkenny beer, Harp Irish lager, again with the harp, like they were talking about earlier, being another symbol of Irish.
Right.
Guinness Golden Ale, which I didn't know they had a golden ale, but maybe that's something to look at. And then Murphy's. It's also another stout, Irish stout, pretty thick looking, but yeah, only one I've had on here is Guinness, and Yeah, I'm not changing that anytime soon. I don't think so.
Hey, and thanks to you, I've had Guinness now.
So another thing that the Irish are known for that I don't think many people realize is inventions. And it's funny, there was like a 300-year gap in inventions, and I think comically wise, it was sometime like between like when Guinness was founded to like whenever the invention was like the 1900s, and people always make fun of it because they're like, oh, what happened? They get too drunk off Guinness and just forgot how to do shit. But
they forgot to innovate.
But they say that like they actually have like thousands of patents owned by Irish, with a lot of like everyday use kind of things that you would never have thought the Irish invented.
Well, it'd be nice if you had a list or something.
Well, I mean, do I ever?
Oh,
so of course they invented Guinness. That's always going to be the top thing that the Irish are known for. But also, they invented color photography.
No way.
Certainly one of Ireland's most prolific inventors, John Jolly, was responsible for meldometer, for measuring the melting points of minerals, the steam calorimeter for measuring specific heats, and the photometer for measuring light intensity and use of radiation for cancer treatment. What he is most known for, however, is the invention of color photography in 1894. The Irish genius from Hollywood County, Offaly, found a successful way to producing color photographs from single plate. He changed the way we see the world.
Fascinating.
Another one is transatlantic phone calls.
Oh, so like across the sea.
Across the pond.
Wow.
If we're talking in the UK slang. It's a long way from Skype, but it was an Irishman who was knighted for his work in establishing the Atlantic Telegraph Cable in 1865.
Is when you mentioned Skype, because it's like almost non-existent now. It's all Zoom.
No, but Skype actually is still used by many. The problem with Zoom is that you have to pay.
Oh.
And or they have a free version, but like it's only like an hour long max or something like that. So Zoom is used, but Skype is still used with a lot of transatlantic type calls.
No idea.
Plus, I think the Skype now is owned by Microsoft.
Oh yeah.
So, but Lord Kelvin Thompson helped to lay the cable, which stretched from Newfoundland to Valentia in County Kerry. He also had a very keen interest in the measurement of temperature and thermodynamics, which led to the scale of temperature, the Kelvin scale. The Irish also are known for finding the cure for leprosy.
Whoa.
It was an Irishman who accidentally discovered a cure for leprosy while he was looking for an answer to Ireland's tuberculosis problem. What a lucky mistake. Vincent Barry made this accidental and miraculous discovery with the catchy title of Compound B663. This compound will go on to cure 15 million people of this devastating disease.
Wow.
Another thing that they invented, the modern tractor.
Really?
The mad mechanic Harry Ferguson was responsible for the original Ferguson system of tractor. It was patented by the mad inventor in 1926 and has the same basic design for a modern tractor that is used today. This county down man also invented his own motorcycle, race car, and plane, and in 1909 he was the first Irishman to fly. Originally, the bicycle repairman, he even built himself the first ever four-wheeled Formula One car. His name lives on at the Massey Ferguson Company. This is one that I never really thought they would have done, but the submarine.
The Irish invented the submarine?
This man probably took a lot of slack for this invention and an underwater boat. Well, believe it when we see it. As it happens, back in 1881 in County Clare, John Philip Holland was the first person to successfully launch a submarine. The first of its kind, it was called the Finian Ram. By 1900, the U.S. Navy was formally commissioning the product. Here's another one. The tank.
They also invented the tank?
From Black Rock, Dublin in 1911 came the world's first armored tank. When the then Home Secretary of Britain, Winston Churchill, commissioned the design of a vehicle capable of resisting bullets and shrapnel, crossing trenches, flattening barbed wire, and negotiating the mud of no man's land, this is what our Dublin boy came up with. The world wars might have been very different without this invention. Though modern tanks might look entirely different to his original designs, the essential battle buggy remains exactly the same.
Pretty cool.
Going on with the theme of war, they invented the guided missile.
What?
It's strange that such peace-loving people seem to have a good head for army equipment. From Castlebar, County Mayo, Louis Brennan invented the guided missile. This stealth torpedo was used as a coastal defense mechanism. Brennan is also credited with inventing the first helicopter.
What?
Hovering. However, this prototype crashed and burnt in 1925.
Oh, so sad. But the guided missile, I would have guessed like the Chinese invented that.
Maybe, but
the Irish, wow.
The Irish.
Must have been all that drinking led to all these innovations.
And for this next invention, the James Bond fan in you would be pretty happy for this one.
Ooh.
The ejector seat. It is rather worrying that it was an Irishman who came up with the first functioning helicopter, Louis Brennan, and also the first ejector seat. In 1945, Sir James Martin tested out his device on a dummy, a wise choice. The following year, a man called Bernard Lynch became the first live tester for the County Down man's invention. It was soon adopted by the Royal Air Force as a standard safety device. So the ejector seat that's used in like aircraft, like in fighter jets, stuff like that. Yeah, an Irishman made that.
Just thinking of an ejection seat, man. Imagine being the guy who was like, "So, you want to try it out?"
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Let me get a couple of the Irish car bombs first before I hop in this one.
Oh, those are good.
But
I've had those before.
Speaking of because this is only a list of 10, but I mean there are thousands of patents out there. I mean I'll run to Wikipedia in a little bit just to kind of give try to see if I can find a number of it, but it is just astounding. But they also, in Irish tradition, invented the apparatus for whiskey distilling.
Whoa!
A Dublin chap with a very exotic name. I'm going to say it's Aeneas. But I know that the Irish and the Gaelic names pronounce it very, very differently, but there's no pronunciation here. Came up with the world's first heat exchange device in 1830. This might not sound like that big of a deal, but this very efficient little piece of equipment led to huge advances in distilling, including whiskey. But yeah, Irish, I mean, they're known for drinking and they're known for inventing. So,
wow.
I mean, they may have done both at the same time, just so they could get the ideas of,
Yeah, they were drinking. They're like, how about we build something that takes us up in the sky?
Yeah. And then eject us.
And then we go underwater. It's pretty fascinating. I would not have guessed the Irish made all of those things.
So I guess they also invented chocolate milk.
They invented chocolate milk?
They invented chocolate milk as well.
So does that mean they invented chocolate syrup or something? Or they just decided to combine them? Or
Since chocolate milk is definitely not something that's associated with Ireland too often. However, the man who first thought of combining these two delicious ingredients was Hans Sloane, noted physician and collector who was born and raised in Killyleagh. County Down in the 17th century. While studying in Jamaica, he noted the natives mixing cocoa with water and drinking it. He tried the drink and found it nauseating, but later mixed it with milk instead and found it infinitely more palatable. When he returned to England, he brought the recipe with him and sold it to apothecaries as medicine. By the 19th century, it had become a confectionery drink made by Cadbury.
Man, I bet the Jamaicans were kicking themselves like, why didn't we think of mixing the chocolate with the milk?
Yeah. They also invented boycotts.
Boycotts?
They invented seismology.
Uh-huh.
They invented Wi-Fi.
What?
Potato crisps. Sparkling water.
What?
Rubber soles. Perforated stamps. What else? Modern chemistry. Croquet. Tattoo machines.
What?
So yeah, I mean they just get down with all that kind of stuff.
They just have a bunch of ideas when they're drinking.
I guess, yeah. So we might just need to start drinking more and see if we can't come up with something.
I suppose so. Maybe it'll make our shows better.
Probably.
But yeah, all that is just hilarious that so many things were invented by the Irish. Just hilarious.
Yeah. But you know what? Before we get onto that, I want to do a special treat.
Oh. I'm scared.
No. It's fine. I know you usually have to, are the one that has to go to the bathroom, but I've actually got to step out.
You do?
Yeah. But don't worry. I have a special guest here. 4 jokes with Hefe.
Oh, nice.
So go ahead and roll the jokes with Hefe theme.
I love that midnight club music. Know what I mean?
All right, so I actually have a long-distant cousin from Ireland visiting.
Oh, no way.
Now, you'll have to excuse him. He's a little short.
Okay.
He's a little sensitive about his height.
All right.
But not too sensitive. It's okay. It's just don't focus on his on the height too much.
Okay.
But his name is Paddy McNett.
Paddy
McNett. Okay.
Okay.
So give me a few minutes. Let me go out and go out and get him. He wanted to frolic out there.
Oh, yeah?
In the bushes and stuff. So.
Oh, sure. I mean, he must like the bushes since he's like really short.
Yeah. So.
All right. Oh, I'm really excited to meet Paddy McNett. I hope he likes me. Oh. Is that the door knocking? It just sounds really quiet.
Would you open the fucking door there, man?
Holy smokes. I'm coming.
Lassie, are you there? Come and open the fucking door.
Dang.
Oh, good. Jam, you're a big fellow.
Oh, hi.
Oh, you must be Andrew.
Yes, I'm Andrew. You're Marcelo's, you say, distant cousin?
I'm Paddy McNett. Yes, I'm his distant cousin from Ireland.
Well, nice to meet you, Sir Paddy. Is that offensive?
Just call me Paddy. Oh. I have not been knighted just yet.
Okay, Paddy. My name's Andrew. Welcome. This is Beach House Studios.
Nice to meet you, Andrew. Ooh, I like this here.
Yeah. Just make yourself at home. You can have a seat right here.
Give me a second. I gotta hop up here just a second. Okay.
Nice.
Nice soft landing. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Marcelo
here.
Marcelo brought Guinness.
Oh, that's my favorite. You might want to keep that away from me.
Oh,
I don't know exactly what it.
I was gonna offer you one.
I'm kind of like a gremlin. You feed me some Guinness, and who knows where I'll wake up.
Oh, okay. Well, Paddy, funny story. Can I tell you?
Of course.
My first time trying Guinness, and I'm a huge fan.
How did you? Oh, huge fan.
Huge fan.
You got to come to Ireland and visit the Guinness.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to get well shit faced there.
Wow. I don't know if I want to do all that. I kind of try.
Oh, it's the Irish tradition. You're going to offend us if you don't.
Okay.
All right.
Well, they say when in Rome, right?
Exactly. All right. So I don't want to keep you very long, but he did ask me to come in and do this thing called jokes with the Jefe. Is that what it is?
Jokes with Jefe. It's ethnic.
I get it. That's right, because he's also half Mexican, right?
He's half Mexican.
That's it. Yes. No.
But which half? The top half or the bottom half? I mean,
Let's hope it's the bottom half.
okay, let's hope so.
Well, he gave me his jokes here, so let's see how it goes.
Oh wow, this is exciting. Jokes with Jefe, but with Patty.
With Patty, yes, 'tis, yes. Okay, so why can you never borrow money from a leprechaun?
Oh,
Because they're always a little short.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but
What's that supposed to mean?
oh, nothing. Oh, keep going. It's just I'm not used to
Okay.
jokes with Jefe being with someone
Okay.
who's not Jefe, but
All right.
this is fun. I'm glad you're doing this. Thank you.
Okay. Why did the leprechaun go out into his back garden?
Oh, wow.
So he could relax on his patio.
What?
Get it, Patty? I'm Patty.
Ah, that's a good one.
What do you call a big Irish spider? Patty Longlegs.
Patty Longlegs.
What type of music do leprechauns dance to? Sham rock and roll.
Oh, that's a good one.
What type of magic spells do leprechauns cast? Lucky Charms.
Oh.
What do you call a leprechaun who's worried about the planet? A wee cycler. Who catches bold leprechauns in under Clover Cop? What does an Irishman get from eating Italian food? Gaelic breath.
It's like garlic bread.
Hey, Andrew. Knock,
What's
knock.
up, Patty? Oh, who's there, Patty?
Erin.
Aaron?
Erin.
Aaron who?
Erin as quickly as I could, but that damn leprechaun was too quick.
Oh.
How did the leprechaun get big muscles?
Oh, how?
He kept pushing his luck.
Oh, Patty, you're on a roll.
At what point is an Irish potato no longer an Irish potato? When it's a French fry.
Oh.
What do you shout if you lose a game on St. Patrick's Day? Game Clover.
Oh, Patty.
What kind of bow is the leprechaun unable to tie? A rainbow. Where do leprechauns play? Where do leprechauns baseball teams play? In the little leagues.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming. That was good.
So I also hear that
Patty, can I just say something, Patty?
Of course.
I don't want to offend Marcelo, so I'm not going to tell this to him, but jokes with Jefe with you is like 1,000 times better.
Well, I got to tell you a little secret. He didn't know this, but I also brought some adult St. Patrick's Day jokes.
Oh.
Because, I have heard a couple episodes, and he does do some pretty raunchy jokes that I just absolutely love.
Yeah, Marcelo.
Especially when you're a couple Guinnesses down, a couple pints down. Ooh, they get so much better.
Yeah, Marcelo pushes boundaries, but I'm a little nervous about your jokes, Patty McNett.
No need to be scared, Andrew.
Okay, I'm ready.
A man walked into a bar in New York and asked the barmaid for a beer and a packet of peanuts. "Oh, you must be Irish," he replied. The man was clearly offended and responded, "The cheek of you! Just because I order a drink, you assume that I'm Irish. If I order spaghetti, would that make me Italian?" "No," she replied, "but this is a post office."
Oh. Hey, Patty, you know that's so funny because I work at the post office.
No shit.
I'm a mail carrier.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I deliver the mail.
I wish I could reach those mailboxes. It's so high for me. I don't know why, but I that's why I always try to run. I run as fast as I can, but I can't quite catch them. So an Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman walk into a pub in Belfast. You ever been to Belfast, Andrew?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's such a beautiful town.
I bet it is.
Each man orders a pint of Guinness. Ooh, my favorite Guinness. After the pints have been poured and placed on the bar, the men notice that each has a fly floating inside. The Irishman gags and leaves the pub. The Scot reaches in and picks the wasp out. The Irishman reaches in, picks the fly out, holds it up close to his face and shouts, "Spit it on, you thieving bastard!" Oh, this is one of the many St. Patrick Day jokes. It leans on a stereotype that isn't really offensive. But hey. Oh, good you laugh, because after I wrote that one, I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about.
Oh, Patty.
I know. What do you call a fella from Dundalk with 400 girlfriends? A sheep farmer.
Wow.
I gotta tell you,
no.
it's a known misconception and a known stereotype that Irish farmers love to fuck sheep.
Wow, Patty. You're insane.
Oh, wait till you hear this one. An Irish farmer walks along the boundary between his and his neighbour's fields when he spots his neighbour carrying 2 sheep in his arms. "Tony," he called, "are you going to shear those sheep?" "I am not," the neighbour replied. "They're both for me."
Patty, you're crazy, Patty.
It was a chilly Friday night when the doorbell rang in Mrs. Molly's home. When she answered the door, Pat Glynn, her husband manager at the local brewery, was stood outside. "Pat, what's wrong? Where's my husband? He should have been home from work hours ago." The man sighed. "I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, Mrs. Molly, but there was an accident over at the brewery. Your husband fell into a vat of Guinness and drowned." "Oh my God," she replied. "Please tell me it was a quick." "Well, no, it wasn't. He climbed out about 4 times to take a piss."
Oh, man.
An Irishman was in New York patiently waiting to cross a busy street. There was a traffic cop manning the crossing. The cop stopped after a few minutes and told those waiting to cross the road, "Okay, pedestrians," he said, "let's go." The Irishman stood waiting, growing more and more frustrated. After 5 minutes, he shouted to the cop, "Here, the pedestrians crossed ages ago. When it's time for the fucking Catholics."
What makes it funny, Patty, is you're just so animated.
Oh, I know. Easy my little legs.
I wasn't going to say that. No. You're a good stature.
Yeah,
you have good stature.
keep your eyes up. Don't be looking at me legs.
Oh, sorry, Patty.
Yeah, it was a test there, Andrew. Just because I'm staring at your kneecaps doesn't mean you can look at mine.
Quick question, Patty. Do you dye your hair red?
No.
Oh.
But hey, carpet matches the drapes.
Whoa.
I got a good little one-liner. What do you call a bulletproof Irishman? A ricochet.
A ricochet.
Why are there only a handful of Irish lawyers in London? Because only a few of them could pass the bar.
Oh, because they're always drinking?
Yeah.
Oh.
The 2 Irish lads were working for the local county. Had a little too much, I think, before. 2 Irish lads were working for the. Man, I had a little much.
Hey, that makes 2 of us.
2 Irish lads were working for the local county council. Got it through that time. One lad would dig a hole and the other lad would follow him and fill the hole in. They worked up along one street and then down the other. Then they moved to the next street and did the same, working flat out all day without stopping. One lad digging the holes, the other lad filling them in. A passerby saw it and asked what they were doing, since they were amazed at the hard work but couldn't understand why they were at it. So he shouted over to the lad digging the holes, "I don't get it. Why do you dig a hole only for the other lad to fill it in?" The lad wiped his brow and sighed deeply. "Well, I suppose it probably does look a bit odd. You see, we're normally a 3-man team, but today the lad who plants the trees phoned in sick." Did you hear about the cross-eyed teacher in the national school in Westport? He resigned because he couldn't control his pupils.
Oh.
A Cork man went for a job at the local stables. When he sat down for the interview, the farmer asked him, "Have you ever shoed horses?" The Cork man thought about it for a couple of minutes and replied, "No, but once I told a donkey to get fucked."
Patty.
2 Irishmen were walking out of a funeral. One turns the other and says, "It was a beautiful ceremony, wasn't it?" "It was," replied the friend. "Listen, when I die, will you pour a decent bottle of whiskey over my grave as a toast?" "I will," says the friend. "But would you mind if I ran through my kidneys first?"
Man, Patty, you love drinking jokes.
Oh, I sure do. It's one of my favorite pastimes.
Man,
I'm a little stature, but boy, can I hold it down.
You're a better man than me.
A man from Cork was in with his doctor. "Look, David, I've got some bad news and some terrible news for you." "Good, what's the bad news?" asked the patient. "Well," replied the doctor, "you only have 3 days to live. "You're joking," says the patient. "How the fuck can this news get any worse?" "Well," says the doctor, "I'm trying to get a hold of you for the past 2 days." What's the difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish wake? There's one less pisshead at the wake.
Wow, that was a little rude.
Well, we call each other cunts over there, so it's not that bad.
All right, whatever you say.
A man from Carlo went to his doctor complaining of cramps from constipation. The doctor told him to try a bottle of tablets and come back to see if the problem persists. A week later, the man returned. "What, are you feeling any better?" asked the doctor. "No," the man replied. "Was I definitely meant to shove them up my ass?"
You hold nothing back, Patty.
I never do. Okay, Andrew. Well, I don't mean to overstay my welcome here, but I do need to get back to back home because that Guinness and that Jameson are kind of calling my name.
Well, Patty, I just have to say, like.
So I got one more for you.
Oh yeah, Leah. Let me hear it.
Anto's missus was at the Rotunda Hospital ready to give birth to their first child. When they arrived, the nurse asked, "How dilated is she, sir?" Anto replied, "Delighted? She's over the fucking moon."
Wow, Patty McNett, you are always welcome here. You brought new life to this podcast.
Ooh,
I tell you,
I do it everywhere. It's like finding a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow or something.
Patty, if you ever want to do jokes with Hefe on the show, you're always welcome. Like, the door is 100% open for you.
Oh, thank you, because I cannot reach that doorknob. That doorknob is too fucking high.
Oh, what if we install a doggy door?
Ooh, that'd be great.
Okay. Wow, I'm glad you.
I can just come and bust in like when your actions like Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Or like a Sylvester Stallone or something.
Yeah, that too. Well, it is nice meeting you, Mr. McNett.
Good to meet you too, Andrew.
You want me to open the door for you?
If you could, please. We just got through talking about how fucking high the doorknob is. Kind of reached the damn thing.
It's just how things are built here in the U.S., but...
Yeah, for all you tall fuckers here.
Hey, this is just how I was born. I had no say, but...
I know. I can't stop staring at your kneecaps. They're like right there, but open up the door. Let me get the fuck out of here.
All right. Nice having you here, and... good luck on your travels.
Ooh, and a happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Andrew.
Oh, happy St. Patrick's Day. Where are my manners? Thank you for being on the show.
Okay. Ooh, is that the 4-leaf clover over there? Ooh, toy.
Oh, man, that was a surprise. I can't believe Marcelo didn't tell me about a special guest coming on.
Okay.
Made me very nervous, but
Patty, stay the fuck out for this time, all right? I know I gave you the jokes, but goddamn, it's been about almost 20 minutes with those jokes.
Whoa, Marcelo.
Oh, don't worry. That's how I talk to the cunt all the time.
Whoa, no, hey.
Stick that shamrock up your ass. Oh, don't be showing your shillelagh at me.
Marcelo, no.
That's how we talk.
But come on. It was his first time here, Beach House Studios.
You should have seen him fucking over there laughing in the corner. He loved all that shit. He was pissing his pants. That's why he showed us shillelagh.
No. I don't want our listeners to get the wrong impression. It sounds like you hate the guy.
Oh, no.
Oh. That's just how
no. Yeah.
That's how you talk to him?
I love that little guy.
Oh.
Put him in my pocket and we go running to pubs all the time.
Wow. Okay. Is he the one that got you into drinking?
Yeah. He actually was. He brought me a Guinness straight from the brewery. I don't know how he made it over here. I don't know where he hid it because the bottle was taller than him, and it was it was pretty good. So it was all downhill after that. So
wow.
I hope that he did some good jokes. I did give him a list of jokes, but I want to make sure that they were family friendly.
Far from it.
Oh really?
They're kind of dirty, but
all right. Well.
I don't know why you're so mean to the little guy.
I said runts, not cunts. I don't know what you're.
I don't know. I guess I'm old-fashioned. I like to respect our guests that come onto the podcast.
Patty loves that shit.
All right,
or loves that shite, how he says.
Anyway, it's nice meeting your family members.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, we had Bashful Bet the one, so I was like, I've got to get somebody here. And immediately I was like, oh, St. Patrick's Day. My cousin Patty's coming over. Got to get him on. He's a huge character. So for his stature, he's got a big character.
I told him he's welcome whenever he wants. So,
and you know what? This little coffee table that you got here that folds out, perfect place for him to sleep.
That's true. He could just make himself at home.
Put in a couple blankets, and he'll be good.
Light a candle, probably warm him up.
Yeah. Careful of the hair, though. Whoo, that fire crotch.
My favorite part, you're not going to believe this, Marcelo. Okay. He made this funny joke about the drapes and matching the carpet, and the whole. Carpet matching the drapes.
Yeah.
He had that joke.
It's a fire bush. It really is.
He had me rolling. Like, my side still hurts from laughing.
Oh, is it? All right. Well,
now, I mean, maybe you can up your game when you do your jokes, because
I could try.
He topped you.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think I would ever say that, but Patty's jokes a little bit better than yours, Marcelo.
Well, I mean, he can't take all the credit. I mean,
he does hang out with you.
I gave him the list. I gave him the list of jokes.
That's true. Well, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, not a bad St. Patrick's Day simple sessions, huh?
I loved it. I learned so much, and I got to try Guinness for the first time, met one of your family members.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly did not know you were part Irish.
Yeah, half Scotch-Irish. So, I mean, maybe on the next turn you'll meet someone from the Scottish side instead of, the Irish side. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you're going to have to, maybe we'll have a simple sessions on the Scots, because I know nothing about them.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about haggis and the kilts and the Highland games and all that stuff. So, yeah.
You could explain to me where the bagpipes came from and what that's all about.
Of course. Yep.
And I'll show you some music that has a bagpipe in it.
Oh, and you got to watch The Simpsons for Groundskeeper Willie, because he's from Scotland. So he walked around. He's fucking hilarious.
You kind of sounded like your cousin right now. That was interesting.
Huh. That's weird.
Very cool.
Luck of the Irish, I guess. I don't know.
Very nice.
So,
well, thanks for enlightening me. And
no problem.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Marcelo. Hope you have a good one. Are you going to have some of that corned beef?
I hope so.
Yeah, tell your mom to make some.
Yeah, I just might have to.
Take a picture of it and send it my way so I can see what it looks like.
Yeah, I sure will. All right, well, go ahead and finish up that Guinness and we'll get on out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Erin go bra. Hey guys, so egg on our face. We forgot to do an ad read this time. We were given an ad by the fake ad agency for St. Patrick's Day, and we're going to do it here at the end of the podcast. So hopefully you stuck around so you can at least listen to it. If not, well, I guess I'll be surprised at some point. We'll talk about it on our next one. That got to go back and listen and all that stuff. So, when I saw the subject for it, I thought, hey, it's for St. Patrick's Day. So instead of me doing the ad read, I figured I'd do a special guest. Again, luckily he hasn't gone back to Ireland yet. So without further ado, come on over. Okay. Hey everyone, that's Patty here. And Andrew and Marcelo wanted me to do this ad read for y'all. Said it's something about the season. Oh, it sure is. Well, let's get to it then. Patty here, just letting you know about our fake sponsor at the end of today's podcast. Today's episode is fake sponsored by St. Pat's Party Pack. We roll into the month of March and we all know what that means. St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner. We know what you're thinking. Oh shoot, I don't have anything green to wear or symbol of Irish luck, nor any festive decorations to celebrate this monumental holiday. Well, guess what? You're in luck. Because with St. Patty's Party Pack, you'll have everything you need to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. With every order of St. Pat's Party Pack, you will receive a bundle of Irish goodies to help you celebrate the genuine fashion. Each order of St. Pat's Party Pack comes exclusively with the following 3 items. A real hand-picked lucky 40th clover, a pot of gold, which is heavy as fuck, and a green t-shirt that says, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." Ooh, boy, do I love all them kisses that I get. That's right, 3 perfect St. Patty's party items for one great price. Oh, this can be yours for a one-time price of £427,000. But wait, you're in luck. When you use a promo code SimpleTimes at checkout, you'll get the Clover and t-shirt absolutely free. Payment plans are available, so act fast. St. Pat's Party Pack is only available while supplies last. Don't forget to use promo code SimpleTimes at checkout so they know who sent you. What are you waiting for? Order your party pack today. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. And go blah!